34. Yat ardham ayushas tasya yadardham ayushas tasya parardham abhidhiyate purvaha parardhaha apakrantaha purvaha parardhopakranto hi aparaha adhya pravartate hi aparodhya pravartate yadardham ayushastasya paradham abhidhiyate purvah parardhopakranto hi aparodhya pravartate. Yet that which ardham of ayushaha of the duration of life tasya his parardham a parardha abhidhiyate is called purvaha the former parardhaha half of the duration of life apakrantaha having passed he certainly aparaha the later adhya in this millennium paravattate shall begin. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation: the 100 years of Brahma's life are divided into two parts, the first half and the second half. The first half of the duration of Brahma's life is already over and the second half is now current. Please repeat. The 100 years of Brahma's life are divided into two parts, the first half and the second half. The first half of the duration of Brahma's life is already over and the second half is now current. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The duration of 100 years in the life of Brahma has already been discussed in many places in this work, and it is described in Bhagavad Gita 8.17 also. 50 years of the life of Brahma are already over and 50 years are yet to be completed. Then for Brahma also death is inevitable. The Sanskrit Bhaktivedanta Purporto Madhyantimirandasya Dhananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in this verse, the Brahma's actual age is described. Bhagavatam descriptions are eternally valid and these truths are practical and relevant. They are not some old or invalid information which has to be interpreted today. No. Here it is mentioned, Yadardham Ayushastasya. Now 100 years of Brahma, we have discussed a lot in the previous verses. And it is Parardham Abhidhiyate. This word Parardha you will see in many verses. Brahma's life has two halves, the first half and the second half. And Parardha means half of the life is already over. First half is over. So now Brahma is now coming into the second half. That means he is 51. This is 51th year of Brahma. And 1 year of Brahma, we know it has 12 months. We have already seen. So this is first month. And in the 12 months there are 30 days. So this is the first day. We will see in the next sloka. That is called Brahma Kalpa, Asvetvaraha Kalpa. Like that the descriptions are there to indicate Brahma's life and his current age and situation. So he is now moved on to 51st year and slowly it will become 52, 53 and then finally here it is mentioned for Brahma also death is inevitable, the death will come. So even if somebody is able to go to Brahmaloka, there also the fear of death, the situation of death is inevitable, cannot be avoided. This is a very striking information. Although it is not striking us, it is actually a very serious information that death is inevitable. If somebody is hoping that death can be avoided by some cocktail of medicines, he is in big illusion. The attempts are there to avoid death, but it is inevitable. Stealthily, and the time takes away the ayu, the lifespan of this body, step by step, slowly. We don't even realize, we don't even perceive that actually the body is becoming older and then it is coming closer to death. And no amount of advancement in science, no amount of military force or bodily strength can help us avoid the death. Like Duryodhana, he thought that by being careful, by increasing the military strength, he can conquer. the death. There is a shloka in Bhagavad Gita where Arjuna, the Duryodhan, he is talking to Dronacharya and he says, Pashaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamu Vyudam Drupada Putrena Tavashishyena Dhimata. Duryodhana is pointing out to Dronacharya. So look at your Shishya, Tavashishyena, your disciple, Dhimata, very intelligent. Why is he intelligent? Because Mahatim Shamu, you can see how intelligently he has organized the army. So Pandava's side, this Drupada Putra, Drishtadyumna, he is the one organized this, the Vyuha. And historically, if you see, this Drupada Putra, Drishtadyumna, is meant to kill Dronacharya. So, Drupada and Dronacharya, they don't have good relation. So, Drupada does a special homa and to get a son who can kill Drishtadyumna. And after Drishtadyumna is born, Drupada sends him to Dronacharya for education. Now look at Dronacharya's response. Dronacharya knows that actually Drishtadyumna is my death. He knows. But Dronacharya doesn't hesitate to take him as a disciple. Now you visualize, somebody comes to you and say, no, I want to learn from you. And who are you? My own death. After some time he is going to kill me. What will be our response? We will try to avoid him, or maybe we will try to even kill him at that time only. Forget about, you educate him and train him and make him as a big military person. But Dronacharya said, no, death is inevitable. You cannot avoid death. So if I cannot avoid death, either Drishtadyumna or some other Dhumna, I am going to be killed. If death cannot be avoided, why should I not do my duty? This is the thing. Vedic civilization is geared up towards Shreyas, the ultimate goal of life. Everybody knows that there is death and it is inevitable, and so everybody prepares himself for a long-term benefit. So this is the Vedic civilization. People are intelligent. They can see that yes, and this seeing death is not ordinary. It requires a lot of intelligence. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that dukkha doshanu darshanam. Darshanam means seeing. So to see that this janma mrityu jara vyadhi in this world is not easy. Not easy, but there and there, death is there. You may say, no sir, we are seeing. No, that's not the seeing. Seeing means it has to create a change in you. For example, when we are going sometimes in the outside, some places, suddenly we will see some procession coming opposite. They will be carrying some dead body, and then people are throwing some colors and petals and some kind of a music, and they carry him. And everybody passes through. Somebody will think it's a nuisance for the traffic. What is this? Why they can allow all these things on the roads? And somebody is doesn't want to see that side, and then he will be turning his face this side, and all these things are there. But then actually he is not seeing. Seeing means through knowledge. To the Shastra, to the knowledge we have to see. Now what is that knowledge? Oh, one day I will be carried like that. One day I will be carried like that. This is called seeing. So, if that is inevitable and then everybody has to face it, including Brahma, then what should I do? So like Dronacharya, he didn't care. He said, yes, death is coming. That's fine, but I have to execute my duty, ultimate duty. Radha Govinda ki jai. So the Vedic civilization is meant for that ultimate duty. Here Prahlad Maharaj, he mentions in Srimad Bhagavatam, he says that Kaumara acharet prajno dharman bhagavataniha durlabham manusham janma. He says this life of manusham, human life, is durlabham, very, very difficult to get. And then tadapi adruvam ardadham. Adruvam means is impermanent. He knows. Everybody knows that this is going to go, this body. But then ardadam, full of meaning. It is full of meaning. Why it has meaning? Because using this body, we can stop this cycle of birth and death. Death is inevitable, but we can avoid the cycle of death. Next death can be avoided. This is the secret of the Vedic civilization. Everybody is geared up for stopping the cycle of birth and death. And what is the formula for that? Rendering devotional service to Krishna. Service to Krishna is the only solution to counteract the death, the cycle of death. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying that science should be taught from the childhood. That's why in Vedic civilization the Brahmacharya was given so much of importance. From the childhood, the child from the age of 5 years is educated in Brahmacharya. No distractions. He is fully focused on learning the science of devotional service. And then he learns the culture, values. He learns the value system. Like Nichavat, he serves in the ashram of the spiritual master, Guru, like a Nichavat, like a menial servant. He becomes a menial servant of the spiritual master and then renders all kinds of services happily. This is Brahmacharya training. He takes a lot of austerity and tapas. Like Krishna, he was with Sandipani Muni ashram, and one day he and Sudama, they go for collecting some firewood from the forest, and suddenly there was a storm and rain, the way we see nowadays, and then there's so much of wind, cold, and they lose the sight of the path, how to come back. That night they stay, under some tree, and the next day the guru comes in search of the children and then he retrieves them. The point is not easy life. Brahmachari, voluntarily they take austerities, tapas. And then they learn how to respect elders like spiritual master, Siksha Gurus, Vaishnavas, Brahmanas. They learn. Parents. And then when such a boy grows up, he understands that in the life everything will not come very nicely planned. I have to go through some ordeals, some troubles, because he has already gone through all these things. Let us say from the childhood, let us say he got used to only AC. Very comfortable situation in the house, in the car, in the plane, or this way, that way, only let us say AC. And tomorrow, let us say he has to face a scenario where there is no power, nothing, and then immediately becomes very upset, very angry, cannot focus on the work. People have forgotten what is tapas. Tapo divyam. So that's why in this age, because this kind of a tapas is not easy for people, divyam tapas that is been given, that is transcendental loving service to Krishna. At least you chant Hare Krishna. That much tapas, that much devotional service, and that's a complete devotional service. So that system of training, here Prahlad Maharaj is recommending that one should be trained from the childhood. Dharman Bhagavata. Bhagavad Dharma means this Navavidha Bhakti. This is Bhagavad Dharma. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Prahlad Maharaj is an authority on Bhakti, and he says devotional service to Krishna means these 9, that's all. What do you call as devotional service? These 9 items. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam. So one has to become expert in this Navavidha Bhakti. If he becomes expert in various areas of this world, death will take away all that expertise. You will be left with nothing. When death comes, he is taking away the body, and that means all these expertises are gone. Whole life you have spent time and energy and then many things, and then you are left with nothing. So the expertise in this Navavidha Bhakti, that will remain with you. Shamanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, all these things will remain with you. For example, Gajendra, he learned some mantra when he was a king. Unfortunately, because of some issue, he became an animal. Gajendra, a big animal, elephant, he has become in the next life. But when he was in danger, he remembered that prayer that he has recited, that mantra. So if at all something comes with us, that is our devotional service rendered to Krishna. That's all. And that service means so devotees have to be very eager for this learning Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, how to remember Krishna, Krishna's lotus feet, how to chant, how to hear, how to be eager for all these things. This is life. I am part of one friends group. They are so excited about this cricket matches. Every ball there is a message. Look, yes, beaten 1-6. Already everybody is watching, but he will put 6, and then the symbols, this symbol, that symbol. Although already everybody is watching, is not that something special, but then still, excitement. It's all created. excitement is created. I remember when the cricket matches were coming up in the early days. During our days only, all these matches are been telecasted on Darshan those days. First of all, when Darshan came to our town, it's a big festival. Somebody got one little TV, and then there is a Darshan in that, black and white, and we children, we used to go and sit and watch. Here and there some form used to come, we all used to cheer. And then sometimes the Darshan announces one movie, and immediately on that day the whole hall is packed, and the signals are not proper, so you will suddenly you will see some picture and then it goes away. That was and then they introduced these matches. And then I remember my parents, they were all not bothered. They are not at all interested. And then we children, we used to pull him and then make him sit and say, see the enjoyment. So how nice it is. So finally he also got addicted. It's all brainwashing, marketing, that's all. Same process can be utilized for developing our attachment to these 9 processes of devotional service. Be enthusiastic. Bhakti, what enhances bhakti, already Goswamis have analyzed. They gave. Enthusiasm should be there. Yes, there has to be. Yes, I want to. Let me read, let me chant. These are the activities which will remain with us. And so, from the childhood, if the boy is trained up like that, then after he comes to a young age, youthful days, he remains grounded in his understanding that yes, I should not be unnecessarily attached to this body or the bodily the expansions. Rather, I should be continue to focus on my ultimate goal. This is Vedic civilization. The whole civilization is centered around how to enhance the people's attraction towards Krishna. This is Vedic civilization. There used to be so many arts and music and cultural activities. Everything is centered around Krishna. Like there is one Harikatha. There's an art. Again, in our childhood days, we used to see the Harikathakas, they'll come. He'll be holding one, those, we call in Telugu, Chadsalu, that he will be, he will come. And then sometimes he may also have some, that kind of a Veena kind of a thing, like a sample Narada. He will be like that, with the tilak and all those things. One single man. And then evening time, I remember this Navaratris come, that time they will have a lot of dramas. And sometimes these performers, they come and perform in the evening times. Some of the dramas, they begin in the evening, go on up to the next morning. And we all used to sit and watch. It will be about Krishna Leela. And those days, the actors who can sing those, those slokas, whatever, they are recognized. They recite some sloka, and then they will do that. Somebody is able to extend that for 10 minutes of like that. Then he is considered very like that. It's interesting art. That where is that now? It's all gone. Nobody doesn't even move their bodies. Everybody is absorbed in this one single mobile. And then after some time he'll get diseased. He'll go to the doctor. Doctor will say, you walk. or you do this, you do that, all those things they will say, and then everybody, and then he has to, he or she, they have to do a lot of hard work to, become healthy. This is what life is currently. But otherwise, civilization should be built in such a way that other distractions are minimized and people are focused on Krishna. Krishna alone, on God. So that should be the, so that's why Prahlad Maharaj is saying this training is very important. Very, very important. The other day I went to one house program, and one family they were mentioning, he is actually a very big doctor, and he is saying in the West, there are so many these mental cases, people with big addictions and screwed up their brains. And he is saying, Prabhu, they are all very young teens, the teenage, 16, 17, or maybe 20s. And they all have, a complicated, they are depressed, and they have innumerable issues. And, and he is one of the, doctors treating them. This is a scenario. And then I said, what is the problem? He says, they get into all kinds of content on the online. So there is no cultural exposure. There is no culture of taking some hardships and austerities. Everybody is pampered, and the result is that they are all becoming psychiatric or psychological patients. So devotees who got this opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness, they should ensure that they nicely learn each and every aspect of Krishna consciousness, develop taste for reading Srila Prabhupada books, chanting our rounds, attending sadhana, each and every anga of sadhana, and then render as much service as possible. Because at least we understood that the life is going to go. Before that, let me achieve my permanent life. People are so after we understood the direction in which we all have to progress, one has to give his 100%. Why again hesitate? Give 100% and then ensure that we learn this science nicely. And as we learn, we can also distribute to attract the attention of Krishna. And then as we learn and preach, we progress in Krishna consciousness. And whoever you preach, they will also get some benefit. Life should be like that. It should be molded in such a way that all our other distractions are minimized. And devotees who are practicing brahmacharya, they should be very careful not to be distracted. All the rules and regulations of not mingling freely with the sense objects, that should be practiced. In the name of preaching, we cannot become loose and close with the sense objects. One has to be very careful and ensure that he is not distracted. Then that student life is a great opportunity where we can learn nicely this science of Krishna consciousness, learn the intricacies, how to manage your internal forces, the pushes of this body. This is life. How to be focused on Krishna and how to manage these various pushes of this body is all a big science. So we all have to learn that. So slowly, as the devotees give up their anarthas, the bad habits and bad behaviors, they become more and more steady in Krishna consciousness. But at any point of time, one should not lose hope. Continuously we should hope against hope, that one day I will attain Krishna's lotus feet. We are in the right direction, right boat, under the shelter of a right Acharya, Prabhupada, and we know this process is authorized by the Shastra. Krishna himself came in the form of Lord Chaitanya and he has authorized this system. One should be very confidently go on doing his duties nicely. And as he becomes more and more absorbed in these services to Krishna, and he develops a taste. He wants to be doing some service to Krishna. Always go on doing service. So then he becomes steady, fixed up. And then ultimately we will be taken care of by Guru and Krishna. We'll stop here. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
శ్రీకృష్ణుణ్ణి చేరుకోవడానికి, కృష్ణ భక్తిని అందరికీ అందించటానికి బృందావనం వైపు ఉరకలేస్తున్న యమునోత్రి. విష్ణుపాదమే తన పుట్టినిల్లుగా కైలాసం చేరుకోవడానికి పరుగులు తీస్తున్న గంగోత్రి. కురుక్షేత్ర ఘోరహత్యా పాపం శంకరుణ్ణి శాంతపరచడం లక్ష్యంగా పాండవులు నిర్మించిన కేదార్నాథ్. సమస్త సాధు పుంగవులకు, ఋషులకు, ఆధ్యాత్మిక సాధనకు స్ఫూర్తినిచ్చే నరనారాయణులను నడయాడిన ప్రదేశం బద్రీనాథ్.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణ వాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133107700.
శ్రీకృష్ణుణ్ణి చేరుకోవడానికి, కృష్ణ భక్తిని అందరికీ అందించటానికి బృందావనం వైపు ఉరకలేస్తున్న యమునోత్రి. విష్ణుపాదమే తన పుట్టినిల్లుగా కైలాసం చేరుకోవడానికి పరుగులు తీస్తున్న గంగోత్రి. కురుక్షేత్ర ఘోరహత్యా పాపం శంకరుణ్ణి శాంతపరచడం లక్ష్యం